everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Let's pull you guys up. We're going to do an ombre rose. So we've had a couple people do the sunshine ombre rose, which is, what was it? Red, orange, and yellow. I actually had that on my list to do. I just haven't got to it. Now we're getting messages pouring in on how to do it. So I'm going to show you with my pink ombre set that I have put aside a while ago, earmarked for an ombre rose. So let me put this a while ago, earmarked. All right, here we go. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. And I have my happy button on today because I need all the help I can get today to make it happy. So I was tidying it up and I seen this big happy face. And it's like, you know, if I put it on, maybe my day will change. It hasn't. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to be using the large board. I'm going to be using 3 different mesh. And this is where, if you have your three-tiered mesh holder from Susie's Wreath and Things, this is where this comes in really handy because you can cut all 3 of these mesh at the exact same time, at the exact size. So that comes in really, really handy for that. Hi, everybody. I am feeling better. I'm almost feeling 100% myself again. Thank goodness. However, the day has sucked. The joys of running a company, that's what it is. And I found these beautiful butterflies. I got these at our dollar store. And these butterflies, they're very pretty, and they're almost like 3D. And they're plastic. So a lot of them are like paper or feather or made of something else. These ones are actually, oh, and they have like a sponge on the back. See how they're like 3D? I thought these were pretty cool. I forgot I bought them. When I go to the dollar store, I go up and down every single aisle and I look at every item. It drives Dave crazy. So I bought these sometime and put them in my craft closet, but they're really pretty. So I got 4 of them for $1.25. Not bad. And like I said, they're all plastic. So I might put one of these on our rose today. We'll see. Okay, so what we need. Hi, Barbara Wilkins. Hi, everybody. Hi, Barbara Craft. I am feeling much better, doll. We're using the large board. And I preloaded my zip ties, closed. So I'm using all the holes on row 2. Actually, if I flip it over. So you see all the holes on row 2. I've filled all the holes on row 3. On row 4, I've only done 4. I've skipped a set of holes. And on row 5, I've done all of them. Why I skipped this set of holes is because we are using 3 pieces of mesh per petal, which means this rose is going to get very, very full, and you don't need. So it's just, if you can put these, use all 8 on here, but it's just excessive. And if you try and scrunch too many in, then it doesn't get all that like poofy look, and it kind of starts to look like a cinnamon bun. Okay, so trying to put too much in sometimes is a hindrance to the end result. I may, however, if I have some mesh left, I may try to make the rose even bigger by using row 1. Now, I haven't done that in a long time, but if I have enough mesh, I will do it. Okay, so row 2, all of them. Row 3, all of them. Row 4, every other one. Row 5, all of them. Now, when you're making your rose, it is best to start from the inside outwards, okay? And a lot of you have made your roses and you know why it's easier to start from the inside and work your way out. Because if you start on the outside, as you're working towards the inside, you're squishing these ones, right? Your arm is kind of resting on them and everything. But for teaching purposes, for me to teach you guys, it is much easier for me to teach you from the outside row and go inwards, okay? Because once we start filling up row 5, 4, and 3, it's really, really hard for you guys to see row 2, what I'm doing on row 2. And row 2 is the most important, pretty much the important part of the rows, because row 2 is what gives it that really nice scalloped edge for the rows. So that when I'm teaching, I like to start on row 2 so you guys can actually see exactly what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Thumbs up? Makes sense? So if you're doing your first rows, you can do it exactly like I do with the outside row. I think you'll get the hang of it easier. So if it's your very, very first one, do it like me. Start from the outside, and then we'll work our way from the center, then to row 3. Once you've got the hang of it, you'll be able to start from the center and then work your way out. So your second one, you pretty much will be able to do that. Okay? I just wanted to put that out there. It's not like if you start on the outside, you know, your rows is going to be completely garbage. Not true. It just, your arms press down against the petals. That's all. You can fluff them back up, but I just wanted to say that before we get started. Because we'll have some people saying, no, you're supposed to start from the center, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to teach you from the outside in. Okay, this ombre one, it's very easy. I know you've seen some of the ombre roses being done on Unique Wreath Makers. Like I said at the beginning of this, I had planned to do it, but of course I have a list like a mile long of projects I need to do, and I just haven't got to them. This is the large board. You can do the same thing on the small board. I find when you do a rose on the small board, because the holes are a little closer together, it kind of crunches the rose. That's just my personal opinion. And I like the large board for any flower I do. So any flower that you see me make or anybody else make, you can do it on a small board as well. Exactly the same. Okay, I like the large board. It gives you more space to work with, and of course it gives you a bigger flower, obviously. So, like I said, this is the large board. We got row 2 and 3 completely loaded. Row 4 is every other one, and row 5 is completely loaded. These are 18-pound zip ties. You do not want 40-pound big gargantuan ones. And mine are 6.5 inches long. So anywhere between 6 to 8 inches is perfect. If you can find 8-inch zip ties, those are my absolute favorite, because I like to go from, sometimes when I'm making different things, I'll go from here to here and use shared holes instead of drilling in the board. And when you have the 8-inch ones, they stretch perfectly. So, and I think I do have 8-inch zip ties on the website right now. The last batch we got in, I think, is 8-inch. I think we got 100 packs on the website, and I believe we got 1,000 packs on the website. So you might want to go look before they're all sold out. Oh, did you give your yellow kit? Oh, I hope it turned out beautiful. So this is going to be the ombre. You can do this with any of the colors that you've purchased. I really, really wanted to do a silver, black, and white ombre rose. However, stupid me did not put one of the sets aside for myself, so they all sold out. But the elegant ones, like the black, white, and rose gold, or the black, white, and silver, they will make stunning ombre roses. I can just see it in my head. But I have pink. Pink's my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I've cut the mesh, okay? If you don't have a 3-tiered mesh holder, don't worry about it. It's just another handy tool to have when you're crafting. Put it on your wish list for one day, but you do not need it. You can just layer your mesh in front of each other and then pull out all 3 pieces at the same time. The mesh holder just keeps it all from, you know, getting all tangled and everything else. Mine's even goes one further where it actually collapses, so I can take it when I travel. So these are, if you do want one, they're on, they're made and sold on Susie's Wreathing things. They're a bit pricey, but you know, if you're doing a lot of these, like if you love to do the ombre, you would get one of these. Definitely get one of these because it saves you a lot of time. Okay. So what we're going to do is I have all 3 of my colors that I'm using. I'm going to go down to the board. We'll see you guys after I'm done. All right. So I have a white. Now this last batch of ombre, I believe you got, I think the last batch of pink ombre, you may have got light, like an iridescent pink, and then a normal pink, and then a hot pink. Guys, you have to read the description of the ombres when you're purchasing them. I know it's hard because even glance at the pictures, because when I buy the ombre kits, I buy what is available. Okay, not everything is available. Like the last batch of the blue ombre, I could not get light blue, so I had to substitute it with like a light turquoise. And it looks beautiful, but there was a few people saying I got the wrong mesh. It was only because I could not get the light blue, so I just substituted, but it did say it in the description. So, you know, it is what it is. Right now, mesh is very scarce, okay? Just with the COVID and everything that was shut down in China, it's really scarce, guys. So we are, all of the people that sell online mesh, we are all doing our best to get the supplies to you. However, we can only get to you what's available to us, okay? I have ordered more ombres. I know I said I wouldn't, but I did. I did again. They will probably be in another a week, 2 weeks. Do not, please, do not bombard us of when the ombres are coming in. We will send emails and all that stuff out to you when, like, almost 5 days before we know the date that they're coming. And for this batch, I happened to be able to get the light blue again. So it was back in stock. So every time I order, it may change. Okay, so just be aware of that. I would not order mesh that didn't match. So as long as you trust me, your order will always match. That's all I can say. If you don't read the description, it's pretty much buyer beware. But I would not sell anything to you guys that I wouldn't use. Okay? So, but the blue ombre, it's not a denim blue this time. It's a royal blue. So you'll get navy, royal blue, and a light blue. Okay, so there's no more, the denim was out of stock this time, so I had to substitute it with a royal blue. There was no teal. I'm sorry, Mary, there was no teal, okay? I did order as much of the blue ombre as I could, which was, I believe, 100 sets. So again, if I could order thousands of them, I would. There's not enough stock. All right. There. Yeah, so, and, yeah, so let's continue. Sorry about going on. I just wanted to get some of this info out to you guys. I can't keep selling them, Linda, because we don't have, if I can't get the mesh, I can't order the mesh. Okay, we are cutting 10 by 10 pieces, okay? 10 by 10. I have, like I said, I have all 3 mesh on top of each other, and the edges, I've already made a whole bunch up, okay? So this isn't going to take long. I'm just showing you how I cut my mesh. Hey, what happened? Sorry guys, I just lost you on my feed here. There we go. That was weird. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out on my cutting mat, and I'm going to pull it to 30. And I'll put something on it. I'm going to take my rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut up the 20 mark, and I'm going to cut up the 10 mark, and cut up the 0 mark, which I'm like calisthenics here. Now, if you don't have a big cutting mat, that's okay. And you do not have to worry about fray. Do not worry about fray with this flower. You do not see the edges, okay? So if you have to cut them individually, or if you wrap it around like with the Measure Buddy and have to use scissors, that's okay too, because we're not worrying about fray. So again, I'm going to pull it out to my 30. Now, if you don't have a mesh holder like this, you can keep your three pieces of mesh together just with a clothespin, just to keep, so it doesn't roll up and it stays together. Just throw a little clothespin on there. So I'm going to do 30. So I'm going to cut at the 20. And I'm going to cut at the 10. Now this is a value mesh, and that way it doesn't cost a fortune to make this. Okay, that's all I'm going to cut for right now. So I'll just push this out of the way. Okay, so we have, each roll has 3 pieces of mesh. Oh, I got stars, I got stars. I'm learning, Jan. I really want to say rotary, but I catch myself. Now, what I do, and I got new clothespins from the dollar store yesterday. These are really good ones. They're pretty tight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I pre-made a whole bunch of petals. For this ombre thing, it is much easier if you can pre-make petals. So you guys all know I use the little elastic bands from Dollar Tree in the hair section. It's just a normal white, light pink, and hot pink Deco mesh. It doesn't have any metallic in it or anything. It would not be good singly for a rose. You will see right through it. However, each rose petal for this ombre, so each petal is going to have 3 pieces. So when you put the 3 pieces together, you do not see through it. Okay, just to say that. When you have metallic in it, it does give it a little bit better coverage. Hi, Connie. How are you, my love? Okay, so here's our 3. So the top, I'm doing the top as a white. You can do it as a dark pink. So ombre is just a color phase, right? So ombre would be dark to a light, similar color. Or it can be light to dark. It's totally up to you. I have a habit of always going from dark to light. It's just embedded in my head, and it works for me. I did see, however, somebody do light to dark, and that was really pretty as well. So it's totally up to you how you want to do your ombre. I would not, if you're going to be doing an ombre, I would not put your darkest one in the middle. Only because that just messes up the ombre effect. I don't know, does that make sense? Because when you're doing an ombre, like I said, you want to go from dark to light or light to dark. So this is, the pink is a subsidiary of a white. Well, white's a subsidiary of all the colors, but when you put these 3 together, this white will pick up some of this dark pink tone and will look like a really faded light pink. You'll see what I'm talking about when we start getting going. So what I'm doing is I have my 10-inch piece. You're going to have it curl up, put it in your diamond shape. Make sure you have a clothespin. Have a clothespin handy. Take the corner, bring it down like you do your normal rose. Scrunch it so it looks like, I think it looks like a stingray. Okay, and then put a clothespin on it. Next, I'm going to do my light pink. You're going to do it the exact same way. Curl up, corner to corner, scrunch it so it looks like a stingray, and then I put my white right over top of the light pink, clothespin it. All right, and now we're going to do the dark pink. Again, exact same way. Corner to corner, scrunch it, and this time we're going to put it right over top. So if you match up the tails so that they're pretty much the same length, the top part will be the same as well. Now I'm going to take all three of these. I'm going to take one of my handy dandy little hair elastics. You get 500 of them for $1, and you've made your petal. Okay, now I'm sure there's other ways to do an ombre rose. This is how I was going to do it, and it seems like the other people, like Lori Fish, just did a really beautiful sunshine one. Oh, what am I doing? And it appears that's how she did hers as well. We have Marcella Askins, who did a really gorgeous one. And I don't know, I still haven't figured out how she did it. Hers looks like kind of like a, hers is different looking rose. It's almost like a swirl. Do you guys, have you seen that? It's a swirl. Oh, just one roll of each color. You won't use a full roll. And she did her swirl rose, again with the sunshine as well. And I haven't had a time to actually sit and study it. And I think I'm going to leave that one for her, because she did come up with it. I haven't seen it before. Lori Fish did an ombre one like this. And the reason I am doing it is because I was going to show you guys exactly the way she did it anyways. I might do the bee tonight. I had so many people messaging me about, because a lot of you have gotten your ombre kits in, or not kits, sets. And you're all wondering how you do an ombre rose, because you've seen Lori Fish's and Marcella's. So I thought, okay, instead of answering a gazillion emails and driving Tanya crazy, I'll take the hour out and just show you guys how to do it. And then maybe tonight I'll do the bee. We'll see if anybody else is going live tonight. Rosie are live at 8 Wednesday. Oh, is she, okay, Rosie, Wreath by Rosie is doing a tutorial. Okay, that's good to know. So Deborah just said that Wreath by Rosie is going to be doing the swirl rose that Marcella Askins did. Awesome, because I really didn't want to do it. Anyways, yes, the bee is a pricey. The bee from MB Inspirations is pricey, but it's not really pricey when you look at what you get. So she made the 2 wings, she made the face, she made 2 arms, and she made a big body. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of sewing, a lot of painting. So I got it because I like to show you guys cute things. If you were to buy that bee and sell the wreath, you would definitely have to sell it for a good price to get your money back. So you got to pay to play. Red, white, and blue. For me, I would go blue, red, white. only because the blue is a darker color. However, you could do red, white, blue. You could do whatever you want for the red, white, and blue because it's really not an ombre, right? It's not an ombre. It's just colors that go really well together for patriotic. Now, if you wanted to do a Canada rose like this, all you would have to do is 2 colors. Do the red and the white just like this. Why do I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to read the comments. What do you mean, what the what? Hi, my Suzanne. How are you, my loves? I'm doing an ombre rose because you people are driving me crazy. No, I'm just kidding. You're driving Tanya crazy. All right, let's get this started. I have a ton of petals here. Enough to get us going. So, no, I didn't do the bee. I may do it tonight. All right, let's use our board. I am going to do this a little different. This is the easiest way to teach you guys, okay? We're starting on row 2. You are going to take one of your sets of petals. You do not have to take this elastic band off. This is just to keep your petals together. Yes, you may have gotten the light pink. This is from the first batch, the very, very first batch of pink ombre. They did not have the really light pink at that time, so I used white. So I wish I would have got the iridescent pink, but I didn't. But the second time I ordered the ombre, they had the light pink, so of course I ordered it. And the bee did not get a crown yet. It will. For this particular flower, for the rose, Barbara, you do not have to worry about fray. You will not see any of the edges. Okay? I have to get started on this, so hopefully somebody can answer questions. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pick any area, and I'm going to put tail going in towards the center. Okay? And what I'm going to do is every other one on row 2. Now, you can do hot pink side up or the white side up. It's totally up to you. I would, however, if you're going to do white side up, keep white side up all the way around to keep your rose consistent. If you're going to do hot pink up, do all of them hot pink up. Okay? So I'm skipping this one and I'm going in with this tail, going in towards the center. Skipping this one, going in towards the center. See how much easier it is when these are already pre-done? If you don't have elastics, but you have lots of clothespins, you can do the same thing. Do all 3 of your mesh, and then just clothespin the whole batch. Okay? And you don't have to do as many as I do. You can do, 5 or 6, and then get those ones in, and then make another 5 and 6 or 6, and use those clothespins. Has anybody seen Tina Kelly yet today? Is Tina Kelly on here? So I'm going in, tail in, towards the center on every other one. Well, thank you, Tammy Grant. I was going to say I love watching you guys too, but they're 10 by 10, darling. Okay, there we go. We got all the ones we needed going inside, so we're going to cut those zip ties off the tails. Zip tie gun, if you're just new to our page. Look guys already. We didn't even get going. Isn't that awesome? I am making an ombre rose with cheap mesh. So have a bucket so you have your tape. You can put your zip tie things in there. All right, so those are all cut. Okay, so now what we're going to do is the ones that don't have a zip tie in row 2, we're going to take our petal, and this time the tail is going to go towards the outside of the board. Okay, so these ones are inside, these ones are going to go towards the outside. Just like that, and zip it up. Yeah, it does turn pink once it picks up. It turns a really light pink, and that's why I did pick white for some of the kits when they didn't have the light, really light pink, because I knew it would pick up the color. It would be nice if people could get one. Well, you can also go and buy your own. It's very easy to go buy 3 different color mesh. It's not rocket science, really. It's just convenient for you guys to buy it from me because you get the board, the zip ties, and everything all at once. However, I can only do what I can do. Like, I can only get what I can get. Now, now you see why I do the outside, because you have to kind of see what I'm doing. It's going to get very, very confusing because we have so much mesh. No, I am still working on row 2. Okay, these are the ones that are in between the ones going towards the center. These ones are going towards the outside now. And all I'm doing I hope I said it. I wasn't being rude. I wasn't. It's a fact. I buy what I can. If it's not available from the wholesaler, I can't get them. So that's it. And we have 26. We almost have 30,000 followers on our Facebook page. So I think people need to keep that in mind too. That there is a lot of customers. And we try and please everybody, you know. I do what I can. I just do what I can. Okay, so this is the last, no, I have one more. Once I get to move all this mess, you'll be able to see a little bit better what I'm doing. But I'm still using the white. Oh, that's okay, Debbie. It's really hard to decipher what somebody is meaning on a text. And I do get a lot of kind of nasty comments on Messenger and stuff like that. So I apologize too, because my guard is always up when it comes to these sets, because I really, truly swear to God, I do the best I can to get as many as I can. But our warehouse is not huge, and I can only bring in so much. Alright, so now I'm cutting off these zip ties. And yes, usually it doesn't look like a hot mess like this is looking right now, because there usually is only one petal. And if you are new to making roses, I will tell you fabric mesh or 21-inch mesh is my ultimate favorite. I'm just peeking to make sure I didn't miss any zip tie. 21-inch mesh or fabric mesh is my ultimate favorite kind of mesh to use for roses. Aw, thanks, Marty. Okay, we have a whole big mess here again. So now what we're going to do, let me pin these. I'll pin these kind of out of the way so you can kind of sort of see what I'm doing here, okay? Let's pin that out. So I want you guys to see this row, what I'm doing. This is going to be really pretty, and this is going to go to a retirement home. I donated a bunch of wreaths to a good friend of mine. Her mom is in a retirement home, so I sent her with a whole bunch of wreaths, and they sent a beautiful thank you card. So I just need to send more so they have something pretty to look at. So I'm pinning the ones that have the tails going towards the outside and they are kind of set in the center. I'm just pinning them out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. And trust me, I know especially if this is your first time watching, I'm sure this is looking really confusing right now, but I promise it's not. Once you start getting going, it's really quite easy. All right, so I kind of pinned these out of the way so you guys could sort of, kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so let's recap. I've done all of row 2, every other, so this one, this one, this one, and this one, they're like, every other one is going, the tail is going in towards the center, and then the ones that are empty, those ones I put where the tail's going towards the outside of the board, okay? Now what you're going to do to keep it simple, you're going to take again another zip tie. You're going to take another 8 zip ties. And what you're going to do is we're going to go over top of the current zip tie. Try and zoom down as best I can. Okay. The zip ties that are going, the pieces that are going towards the center, we're going to take another zip tie and we're going to go right over top of the existing zip tie that's already there and do it up closed. So you just want to do a couple zips and make sure it's, it's locked. You're going to do that for every tail going towards the inside. So that's 8 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to be putting, I'll show you. It's just much easier to describe as I'm going around. Fabric mesh is also called faux, sometimes it's called faux jute. So I've seen it called faux jute small stripe. Actually, this is a fabric mesh. And it's just called, this one's called striped fabric mesh. But I've seen it on different sites called faux jute as well. All right, so again, I'm still going around and I'm putting another zip tie just over top of the petals that have the tails facing towards the center of the board. And that's why I pinned these other ones. So the ones that I pinned out of the way are the ones that have the tails going towards the outside. Can you guys see that? So I'm going down and up. The tail that's going towards the inside and I'm doing it up. I'm doing it up loosely, so I'm leaving a space in my zip tie, but it's locked. Okay? Is Haley on? I hope your daughter's doing much better, Haley. Sorry, I didn't even see you come on there. All right, so that's my last one. And what we're going to be doing with these zip ties is these ones are going to have our corners of these outside petals going into them. Now, how I'm going to explain this is going to be a bit tricky. Okay, so let's see if I can, this is a red one I've done. So, let's see if you guys can see that. Am I in nothing? So this tucking in the tail is giving it that scalloped edge. Okay, so any petal that has the tail going towards the center, the corner of each of those petals are going to go into that zip tie that we just put in, and then we're going to do it up. Okay, do you see how it's scalloped like that? So the corner of this petal is in there, and the corner of this petal is in there. And we do that all the way around. So, well, at least the hospital is the best place for her. So let's get these out of the way. Okay, let me try and explain this. So for this, you're going to want to make sure all three pieces of the petal, because we have 3 pieces of mesh, you got all 3 corners. These 3 corners, move this out of the way, sorry guys. Okay, you guys can see still? So, see how this zip tie is right here? I got these 3 corners. I'm going to stick these 3 corners into this zip tie. And then I'm going to take, it's hard to do with 3 pieces of mesh here. And then I'm going to take these 3 corners that are not this one, but it's the following one. And this is going in to the same zip tie. Just like that. Make sure all of them are in, and then you do it up. You can already see that we're getting that scalloped. And then you're going to take this and cut it off. All right, let's do the next one. So what you're going to do is just keep going around the whole flower on the outside. And it's only 8 pieces. So now this one, take all 3, make sure all 3 of the corners are in your hand. You're going to go up and into the zip tie. Am I still in? If this is your first rose, you definitely want to go and watch the beginner, like a beginner rose tutorial, because I'm using 3 pieces of mesh here, and it's a little more difficult than just using a single piece of mesh. If you need to let go, throw a clothespin on your corner that you just tucked in, and then you can have 2 hands to make sure the next set of corners are all there, and tuck that into the zip tie and pull it tight. Whew, working up a sweat here. Okay, so the next one, Make sure all 3 corners are together. Together. I miss my monkey. Is she on? Yeah, they probably would, Haley. I just don't want to have clothespins and mesh and everything all over the place, because then I'd really confuse the crap out of you guys. But like I said, if you do need to let go, once you have it through your zip tie, put a clothespin on, and then you can let go and you can work on this one. So take that one off, put these ones in. Some people just glue them, like they don't even put zip ties. You can glue, if you're just using 1 piece of mesh, not 3, you can actually just glue it to the board too. But I put them in the zip ties because I know that they're in there really well. All right, the next one. So can you see how nicely scalloped these are becoming? Oh, there's Lori Fish. Oh, did you put a, okay, there you go. She put a small rubber band on the corners. So you put a small rubber band on these corners. I was hoping you would jump on, because I had a way I was going to do it, and I just did rubber bands on the bottom. So you did it like this, Lori? What a good idea. There you go. So, guess it's much easier to and then like she said, she put a rubber band here. So she probably did this before she even put them in the board. Yeah, I liked how Jinx does her stapling. So you're right, Lori, that does work really well as well. So these little rubber bands, you get 500 of them for $1. I know, clothespins and these little elastic bands are a godsend. Okay, we're almost done. Now, Lori, when you were making your pre-making your petals, did you, for those outside ones, did you put elastic as you were pre-making them? Hi, everybody. You bought the same stapler Jinx uses. I love Jinx. She's so funny. Oh, we're almost done. Oh, so you did it just like I'm doing it right now too. So you could, though, you could elastic band as you're pre-making the petal. No, you do not do this with every rose wreath, especially the way I'm constructing it. Yes. This elastic band thing, no, you don't have to. We're only doing it because we have 3 pieces of mesh that is going in. Oh, I think I missed a zip tie. I did. There's 3 pieces going in, so doing the little elastic at the bottom, it just keeps them together better while you're doing this. And when I was doing it, I was just making sure it was pinched really well. The elastic band is a really good idea. So thank you, Lori. So if it makes anybody feel better, the outside row is the hardest part. So once you got your outside row done, I kind of missed a petal here. How did I do that? Once you got your outside row done, then you can like take a sigh of relief. And you'll be able to see better see better once I push all this back. And I'm almost done here. But you can see how it's scalloped really nicely. I think we have one more. Yes, only one more left. Okay, so I have one more left, which is right here. Hopefully I'm still in this shot. Tina Kelly, there you are. Tina, honey, I will be messaging you after this live. I have a proposal for you. Okay, so we'll do it like Lori just said. You can put a little elastic. Now you don't have to worry about these elastics or your customer finding them everywhere. They're so minuscule that they pretty much will just dissolve. And once they do like break apart or dissolve, you will not even be able to see them. So these are just for your own purpose to help construct your wreath a little easier. Whew! Last one! Yay! All right, there we go. Do you see this nice scalloped edge? Perfect. Now I've squished it a little bit. At the end of my rows, when I'm totally finished, I'll go around and kind of puff up some of these ones, because I'm not going to do it now, because like I said at the beginning of this, once you start doing this stuff in the center, you're kind of going to squish all these down. Okay, so we're done with these for a second. And I'm going to take these off. Now these ones that we did, that are facing outwards, all they're going to do is you're going to take it and just bring it back like this. So do the next one. I'm going to take it and bring it back. So you're just folding it, you're just folding it back. So if you do want to make an ombre rose, my word of advice for you is to make one with one mesh first. Don't start with like an ombre one, because you really need to get the feel of how to do it first before you start trying to do a rose with actual 3 pieces of mesh per petal. Okay, so just go around, spin your and you're just kind of bringing it back. And that's all we're doing for this one, this row. Sorry, I'm just bringing them back. Oh, I guess I can zoom back out again. Sorry, guys. Okay, so they're all moved back again. Okay, so it's just that way. Now, to get it back out of the way so we can start in there, I'm going to pin them again with some clothespins just to get them out of the way. Because keep in mind, you're using 3 pieces of mesh per petal. That's a lot of mesh in there. Hi, Julie. Apparently, Julie, Lauren's going to come and move in with you because we mentioned that we were thinking of moving back to Niagara Falls, and then all of a sudden she's told all her friends that we're moving and she's not going, and Lola is going to talk to me to forbid me to take Lauren. You heard. You can have her. I'll pay you. She doesn't eat much either. All right, so we've pinned out of the way. There, that wasn't so bad, right? All right, now we're going to start in the very center, row 5. We are going to need 4 of our pre-made petals. Oh, good, I have 4 left anyways. Okay. So you're going to take your tail of your petal, and what you're going to do is take the tail, and the tail is going to go towards the outside of the board. Cut your zip tie off. Now it's going to start looking like a big mess in here for a little bit. So what you're going to do now is do you see how it's kind of like a U, horseshoe shape? I want you then to take all 3 of the corner piece, put them so they're pretty much all the same size. And what you're going to do is kind of turn this in just like that. Take this side and wrap it around. So it's like hugging it. And I'm only doing this way because we're going to have a lot of mesh in there. So we'll start the center already. And then put a clothespin on it. Yes, I start the outside row for teaching. That's right, Kelly. If you're doing it, if you've already done a few roses and you already know what you're doing, it is much easier to start from the bud of the rose and work your way out. Okay, the next one, right beside it, this time I'm going to go with my tail going towards the inside of the board. Again, you're going to take all 3 of your corners. Now, it's normally not this hard or confusing when you're only using 1 piece of mesh. Obviously, you can probably tell that. Take your 3 corners. Again, I think maybe elasticing them, like Lori said, may help. Lori, if you're still on, did you do these elastic as well. Let me try it. Go have a nap, Haley. You've had a busy few days. Let me see if that works a little bit better. And then you're just going to wrap that around. And I'm going to clothespin that. Oh, you did do them on all? Okay. Okay, now we're going to do the next one. That one went in, so this next one I'm going to go outwards again. And you only do this on for row 2 and row 5. I'm hungry. I need a snack. I need a snack. I actually don't need a snack because I could go for weeks on the fat cells I have, but I'm hungry. So let's try Lori's little trick. I can't remember anymore. No freezing. If you're freezing, try going out and coming back in. All right, so do you see how I'm just keep wrapping each one as it goes around? It might be Facebook too, Kathy. It'll be so nice, not only when everybody can actually go to stores and everything, but when this COVID stuff is done, but the internet will be back. And Lori's little idea of or putting these elastics on the corners is really very helpful. Then it's like you're only using one piece instead of 3. But isn't this going to be really pretty? It reminds me of like kind of like sherbet or something. All right, so our bud is done. Now, when I first started doing the roses, you can put a piece of string around the bud to keep it formed like that. But I found that once you start adding more and more mesh, the mesh actually pushes against the bud anyways and keeps it in place. So you can, right now, you can put an elastic around there, or you can put a piece of string just near the bottom here to keep it together. Or you can just keep little clothespins on like I am. And once we start putting more mesh in, the mesh will close in and it will keep it closed. Okay, so we are done row 5. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 8. We need 12 more pieces. So I don't have any more. All right, yeah, I do. So now I'm on row 4, which there's 4 pieces. I'm going to take my 3 pieces. Again, the white is always pretty much on top. You're going to take your tail. You don't have to do, on row 5, you do not have to do 1 in, 1 out, 1 in, 1 out. That's just my preference. You can have them all coming out if you want. It kind of makes the same shape anyways. It's just habit. So now for the rest of the rows, which is row 4 and 3, the tails are going outwards towards the outside of the board. And as you put them in, once you put it in, you're going to go around and just wrap it around the bud. Okay. Now I need to cut more. Holy man, that's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to look so pretty. Yeah, it's preference. You can do it dark to light, light to dark, whatever you want. Yeah, it's going to be pretty. And, of course, I am going to do a ribbon hanger. This is going to go... Oh, actually, this might not match. I thought maybe using this as a ribbon hanger, but I might change my choice. We'll see. Because I'm going to send this one to a retirement home. So I might make a few of these. I might make a few of these roses because they're very pretty. They're a little bit, it's not a beginner thing, obviously. You don't want to start this if you're just a beginner. But once you get the hang of it, you could probably sell a lot of these because they are so different. And the mesh isn't expensive. So again, I'm cutting, there's all 3 pieces, and I cut them 10 by 10. You're running out of money. Pretty much like everybody in the world. We're all running out of money. 2, 6. Oh boy, I hope I'm going to have enough. Yeah, if you haven't seen the sunshine one Lori Fish did and Marcella. Now Marcella's is different. Hers is a swirl. It's absolutely gorgeous. Just pop on over to Unique Wreath Makers and Workshops, and they posted them in there. Now the center is getting really, I hate the center. I wish they would make the cardboard stuff in the middle a little bigger, like wider, so they wouldn't be so curly. What do you mean your rotary cutter doesn't cut the mesh? You may have it, you may have to loosen maybe your blade, or maybe the blade is in wrong. I'm not sure what else to tell you. Now look at this. They're all supposed to be 10 yards. Can you see this? God, I hate this. They're all supposed to be 10 yards. We used the exact same as we were cutting. My white is almost out. The light pink and dark pink look to be the right amount, but now I'm not going to have probably enough white. I hate when they do that, because a project like this, now it really screws it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I only have one more I have to do. They're lucky. They're lucky. Although I just would have put it one, I probably just would have put one petal in without a white. You probably wouldn't have been able to even tell. So I have enough probably for 3 or 4 more petals. I will probably do them on row 1 because just to use up the mesh. It says it cuts fabric. I don't know what to tell you, darling. I've never had a rotary cutter not cut. So for row 16, if you want to write this down for how many pieces you need to cut, row 2, we did 16 of each color. So, because we're doing an ombre. Now, you can do a rose with just 2 colors as well. It doesn't have to be 3 if you don't want. So, row 2, we did 16. Row 3, you do 8. Row 4, you do 4. And row 5, you do 4. So hopefully somebody did the math. And this is just a value mesh. Now it does, like I said, it does look like we used a lot of mesh, but it's a value mesh, so it's inexpensive. It's not like a poly burlap where it's like $12 for a roll, because then it would be really, really expensive. Sometimes this actual mesh that has no metallic in it, sometimes it's called floral mesh as well. And good places to buy this sort of mesh that doesn't need to be a really, really good quality. You can buy some on Paper Mart. You could buy some at a place called the Tool Shop, Tulle. You can buy it from a place called fuzzyfabrics.com. I'm trying to think of other ones that sell not the greatest quality. Now, I do believe the Tool Shop and Fuzzy Fabrics, I think, is the same company. Thank you, Lori Fish. So, what did I mention? Paper Mart, fuzzyfabric.com, the Tool, Tulle, shop.com, BB Crafts, yep, BB Crafts is another one that has this kind of mesh. I can't think of the other ones, because normally we're always looking for the good quality mesh. So mesh, if you're doing something like this, even although it's still a little bit pricey, but even mesh from like Hobby Lobby and Michaels is a good alternative as well, because it's thin. Yes, row 4 I'm doing every other, because you can see we have a lot of, now this is fabric mesh. I'm going to show you. Okay, this is fabric mesh. So this is the mesh you get in the Red Rose kit. Now this one's been kicking around for months now down here in the basement. This is fabric mesh. This is really, really good mesh. I've only used 1 piece per zip tie, and you can see the coverage you get. But I still did it in the same manner where I've done all the row 2, all the row 3, row 4, I skipped every other one, and row 5, I done all of row 5. I've done it like this because you only need then one roll of mesh. If I were to try and do a rose with this mesh, which is not the greatest quality, I would have to double, maybe even triple. If I wanted to do one color, I would have to do maybe double pieces per petal. But because this is fabric mesh, it's one piece and the coverage is phenomenal. Like, you cannot see the board. It's all nice and puffy. I really have to redo my center here because, like I said, it's been everywhere. But this is the rose you get in the kit. You do get fabric mesh in the kit. So the yellow and red rose is fabric mesh because that's what I like to use. So, and on the rose, yes, you do not see the edges, so you don't see and worry about the fray. And if you add up together, like the rose kit that we sell, it's a complete kit. You do get a roll of fabric mesh. You do get a full roll of green metallic mesh. You do get a large Unique in the Creek board. You get 100 pack of zip ties. You do get clothespins. You get step-by-step picture instructions. You also get wire cutters. You get the ombre ones. They're not sets or kits, guys. That's why I call them sets. The complete kits are the red rose, the yellow rose, the daisy, and the sunflower, and the patriotic eagle kit you get is a complete kit too. So you get wire cutters in your kit as well. You have everything. The board, fabric mesh, green mesh, everything you got here. Plus your zip ties, and you get enough zip ties that you can do two flowers. You get a measuring tool, you get the instructions, you get a dedicated beginner tutorial that nobody else has, only the people that buy the kits. And you also get the cutter for $24.99. Seriously. So you could make said rose, buy the whole thing for $24.99 and go around and turn around and sell it for 40 or 50 bucks. Just saying. We do sell the ombre. They only last like 10 minutes when I put them up. But guys, you can, if you're wanting one like right away, you can go and buy the 3 colors of mesh that you want yourself too. Oh, I can't remember the lights. What? Maria, can you message me and ask that so I see the message? Because I don't know offhand how many there was on there. And same with the ombre kits. Well, not kits. The ombre are just sets, because the ombre, you get 3 rolls of mesh, except for the rainbow one had 5. You get a large board, and you get the zip ties for $21.99. So that's probably why it's so popular, because we do have them pretty cheap. Pretty much you get the board free when you get the ombre sets. Well, you get a cutter for every set you or kit you get. So, and it's nice if you want to do workshops. say you want to have a workshop with your friends once this COVID thing, if you order the kits, then you don't have to do, all you have to do is supply them scissors. And you can charge them $35, $40 to do the workshop, and you make money. You don't even have to gather any supplies up because everything comes, oh, and you get a nice pretty Unique in the Creek bag. So everything's in there, you just give them each a bag and a pair of scissors to borrow. And there you go, you'll have a workshop. You can get the kits on uniqueinthecreek.com and .ca. We have, right now, we have a yellow rose, and they're all fabric mesh. So you get a yellow rose, there's a red rose, there is a sunflower kit, which you do get the brown center as well. And we have a daisy, where you get the yellow center, and both of those are fabric mesh as well. No, I do not do pre-orders for the ombre. So sorry. The rose kit is, I believe, $24.99, and I believe the sunflower kit is $29.99, because the center of the sunflower is actually even pipe cleanered and everything already. So when you're done it, you just put the pipe cleaners through the center of your board and you're done. Ugh, almost done here. Oh, and you get clothespins. Now, it's funny you guys laugh, but for the next kits that are coming out in September, all the kits are going to have pink handled wire cutters, and all of them will have pink clothespins. Hot pink. Almost done here. So the ombre rose takes a little more time, obviously, because you have to fold the mesh 3 times for one petal. Yes, pink is my favorite color. How could you guess? I love pink. I always have. No, all the cutters are pink. Of course, we had to order them from China like months and months and freaking months ago. Bye, Suzanne. Drive safely, doll. Bye, Jan. I know this is taking a while. You can see the end result. Bet is just to buy a kit and start there, because then you're not running around trying to find all the things you need to make, you know, the flower that you want. And then if you do like it, then you can start buying stuff that you need. All right, let's whip this through. So now I'm going in tails out. You guys are probably not going to be able to see what I'm doing, so I apologize, but I'm on row 4, tail going out towards the outside, zipping it up. And as you put your petal in, keep wrapping. I think I might even on row 3, we might even get away with every other one there too, because this is so full. Lori, did you do every set of holes on row 3 as well? Because this is like really super full. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do because I don't even think I'll be able to get it in there. I still have a whole row to do, and look how full it is already. I may have to hot glue some of the corners when we're done for those ones that don't want to stay down in the flower. But for the outside row, no. I zip tied them all. This is full. Yeah, I'm just going to do every other one on row 3. So, right here, row 3, I am going to cut some off because it's going to be way too full. Yep. So I'm just going to cut off every other one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Lori. Because we have so much mesh in here, you definitely don't need to do the full thing. All right, so we then only have 4 pieces left to do. Yay! Again, the tails are going towards the outside. And we're tight. We're tight. Ah, they all stick together. Okay. So when we're done, what I'm going to do is go around and make sure I push down the corners. Yeah, save 4 petals. And we tuck all these corners in here. Can't even, oh, there's one. It's It's hard to see with the zip ties even in there. What does this remind me of? Like candy floss or something. Whew! One more. Now I just gotta find that one more. Where are we? Or maybe I don't have to. Maybe I do. Oh, no, there it is. Right there. Last one. This is a big 'um. All right, now I'm gonna stand up here. Let's see where this mess is taking me here. All right, make sure all the 3 petals stay together. And then we're tucking in the corners down into the rows. You don't want to see that. So when I was saying about the gluing, sometimes some of the tails won't stay down in your rows. They just keep wanting to pop up. Those ones you just have to put a little dab of glue on to keep them down. They just don't want to cooperate. So this takes a bit of time just to go around and make sure all your corners, and because you're working with 3 pieces of mesh per petal, it takes a bit of time. But it's very pretty. Wouldn't you guys agree? Look how pretty this is. There we go. We're starting to look like a rose now. And just keep going around, making sure the corners go down. And glue those suckers if you need to, because some of them are not going to cooperate and do what you want them to do. These outside ones, because my arm was resting on them, they're a little flattened. I'll just have to poof them up a bit. Broke a sweat. That's some work there. I think the ombre sunflowers are a little easier. But it is pretty spectacular when you're done. Like, this is really, really pretty. Okay. Oh, one over here. This one's a mess over here. There we go. Okay, well, that's good enough for now. I will keep continuing to fix it, but I can do it till I'm blue in the face. I am going to take a piece and sometimes I don't like this, you know, hole here. I want to fill it. Now, normally I just take a piece. I have 3 pieces, but normally it's just 1 piece I'll take, and I'll just turn it in this way, and then turn it in this way. Like this. Kind of make a rosebud type thing. I'm going to put an elastic around there, or you can hot glue it. First I'll elastic it and then I'll hot glue it. Is my glue on? Ah, it's not on. So what I'll do is put hot glue along these 3 corners to keep them down, and then I'm going to cut it. And then once it's cut, I'll place it down inside here. So I'll glue around the bottom, or just throw some glue, like some glue in here. And I will put this little center bud right in there. And it makes it, it finishes it off really, really nice. Hi. I'm almost done. What do we, the pork tacos. Is that what we have left on HelloFresh?
I thought we were having cranberries.
Well, we can, but there's still HelloFresh left.
I don't feel like making food.
You don't feel like what?
I don't feel like making anything.
Oh, well then, throw something.
David already has.
What time of day is it?
4:30.
Is it really? Okay, so there, that is kind of, I have to make it a little smaller. But that's how you do it. So you're gonna, I have these pieces of corners that's not going to stay down. I will have to put just a dab of glue and hold them down. But there you go. That is your, this one's a pink ombre rose. There you go, on the large board. There's 2 holes on row 1 that you can use for a hanging hole. I use a zip tie for a hanger. You can use ribbon or twine or whatever you want. All right, that's it. I know, I love it too. I have to wait for my glue gun to heat up, and then I'll fix up all the corners and everything, and then I'll post a picture. But that's how it's done. So it's a bit of work, but the outcome is absolutely stunning. Give it a try if you dare. And there. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a live later. We'll see how I'm feeling. Oh, what about my butterfly? I was going to put a butterfly on. I'm not finished quite yet, but... Oh, look. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Maybe tonight. for sure tomorrow. All right. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye.